Eyo, so maray na aga sa Indugabos, mga estudyante. And also parents if you're watching. So hello, I'm Sir Elvin and I'm here to teach you English 9 lessons in English and of course in Bicol language so that you could better understand. Okay po? So matukdo po ako sa Indo in Bicol saka in English. Anyway, let's start. So now, the milk that we're going to discuss is all about determine the relevance and truthfulness of the ideas presented in the materials viewed. So our specific objective will be identify the three kinds of information disorder, identify the seven forms of information disorder, and lastly, we're going to analyze different examples of information disorder. Okay, let's start. So, basically, araman to si katotohanan sa gaano siya ka-related sa toong buhay. Kasi mga material na tigdadalan ta. So, kaipuan ta ning maray. Especially, ngunyan na dakol ng information kita nare-receive sa Facebook, sa Twitter, and other, so of course, sa TV man. Okay? Okay, let's continue. Now, everyone, so there are three kinds of information disorder. So we have misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. And each of them have their own specific definition, of course. So let's start first with, so as you can see, we have here a Venn diagram showing the differences and similarities of the information disorder. So for example, both are false information is misinformation and disinformation. So misinformation is false connection and misleading connect. So ibig sabihin, for example, they man related duman talaga sa tigba. For example, nagbabarita tungkol duman sa sabi nito tungkol sa election, tapos di pa related talaga duman. Aray man pala talaga duman. Misleading content, misleading, nakaka-mislead. Dahil man siya related man. So, akala mo mababasa mo tungkol sa, for example, tungkol sa coronavirus, tapos tungkol sa ibang bagay man pala to. So, and also disinformation. Disinformation, it is false and it also has intent to harm, or so may balak siyang gamiton sa information para makakulog ng iba. So false context, imposter content, manipulative content, and fabricated content. So next is intent to harm. So these are not necessarily false information, but these are information are private. So mga dapat di man talaga nagkalat sa public, pero nagkalat for the sake of para maka harm ng ibang tao, or yan. So for example, so when we say misinformation, everyone, sharing wrong information that has a false connection or misleading connect. For example, false statistics or false photo caption. For example, may picture na tao, tapos sa caption nakalaag na, for example, naghahaabunda or di man talaga related duman sa tamang content. For example, igwang taong tigpicturan sa, for example, nagataong relief. Tapos itong gamito na nag-amay sipag, naguko ang mga butante, yan. For example, for statistics, imbis na si tamang number, sa lang number ang tiglalaag. So for example, we have this one. So for example, paano makakatulong ang bawang laban sa cancer? So for example, so this is Dr. Farah Bunch. So it is misleading kasi, to be honest, naman tamang scientific basis na makakatabang talaga ang bawang sa cancer. Duma siyang intent to harm sa information. False mangyari sa information niya. Okay po? So that is another example of misinformation, because even though it doesn't necessarily mean to harm other people, it can still harm other people, because people will believe that simple bawang, garlic, will cure cancer. So imagine that. So that is kind of misinformation. Of course, who can forget this one? So this is Mocha Uson stating that Mayon is in Naga City. Right? So again, no intent to harm, but this kind of information is wrong, di ba po? So duma siyang intent mag-harm, si ibang taong day aram sa nademan taga Bicol, baka akalaon ninda na nasa Naga talaga ang mayon. So that is another example of misinformation. Next, we have disinformation, wrong information shared to hurt others. So this is called, ito si disinformation. Ito na si mga information na nagka-come up sinda para makakakulog ng iba. Lalo na, for example, their reputation. This happens to politicians, for example. False. So here's a picture, may post sa Facebook. So I'm gonna explain the picture first. So there's a picture igwada ang sa post sa Facebook na sa red ang tigtatao lang is 5 pidasong pandesal saka bottled water lang duman sa mga tataal victims. So, this is a false information. So, tanong kaya tig-produce man ng information na para marautan si Robredo and to ruin her reputation. And of course, yung mga taong nagtutubod man lang, of course, is ginatit na yan man lang pala tigtatabang na. So, dito man lang pala siyang tigtatabang ni Mrs. Robredo. Okay, so next we have Malar Information. So, this information is disinformation or personal or private information, intentional sharing of personal or private information to intentionally hurt others. Yung mga pribadong bagay na ginagamit para makakulog iba. For example, pictures, personal pictures, and etc. Okay po. So for example, here, so we have here personal. So this is fight between YouTubers. You have here Nico David and Makagago. So if we know both of them, they are both YouTuber, thousands of subscribers. And Makagago called Nico David Pilantot, even though Nico David doesn't necessarily share na may disability siya. So, personal information to ni Nico David na na may disability siya. Pero, tig-share ni Makagago. Di man siya false na may disability si Nico David. Pero, private information to na ginamit para marautan si Nico David. So, that is an example of malinformation. Using the information of others. For example, may nag-text ka, text mo sa friend mo, tapos ginamit to parang pangraot sa imo. Okay po. Next, we have 7 forms of disinformation and 7 forms of this information disorder. For example, we have here, number 1 is satire. So usually, comedians do this. An information with funny but false content that can fool people who cannot recognize humor in it. So ang satire, ginigibo talaga tuyo ninda na magibong sila. So they are acting in a wrong way and putting humor on it. So that, So for example here, let's just give an example. We have here si Kong TV. If you are familiar with Kong TV have a short video called Daily Vlogger. And here he showed what everything that vlogger should not be. So if you don't know that this one is a satire, you will believe this one. So, both pasabihin man lang ang satire, itong ginigibo kabaliktaran. Para magets kang tao, makabaliktaran ang ginigibo mo para makanod ang ibang tao. Nasala nga itong ginigibo mo. That is satire. So here, so pinaling ni Kong TV kung ano mga dapat degibuhon kang mga vlogger sa pagpahiling kadto. So giniribon si mga sala para mapahiling na day nga ito tama. Okay po. Next, we have misleading content. Information contains deceiving information. So, contains deceiving information, nakakalokong information, nakakaloko. Okay, for example, again here, Dr. Farah talks about cabbage. Again, cabbage makakarahay ning mga disease. So, if you believe, pwede kang ma-deceive na magtubod kung maikang aram talaga scientific field, pwede magtubod ang ibang tao na ang cabbage makakarahay. Okay, so you can watch Doc's Adam video here so that you will learn more. Next, imposter content, an information from unreliable source which copy identity of credible source. So ano mga sources? For example, sa Rappler, imbis na Rappler, tigiba lang si date na pangalan, tapos akala kang tao, ito talaga si original, but it's not. For example, we have here, imposter content. So these are real print of Washington Post on the left and the right is fake. So tig-fake niya. Nagigibo siyang fake newspaper or fake post galing mandado man sa website para disseminate ng wrong information. Nagigi siya imposter. Okay, next we have fabricated content. Is a Fake content which deceive and hurt people. Fabricated, mayong basihan, mayong source, gibo-gibo lang po. Yan ang fabricated content. Next, we have false content, headlines, and visual caption of an article which do not support its content. For example, may picture man nga akong may picture akong kaulay, may kaulay lang na, for example, there's a celebrity, may kaulay lang na tao, na normal na tao, pwedeng lagan caption naman na, for example, Vice ganda, nakipagtalo sa netizens. Maski dahil nag-uulay man lang sinda. So, false connection, mayo man connect si caption sa duman sa content mismo. Even though nakikipag-ulay lang siya, ang nakalag sa caption is nakikipag-away na siya. For example, like this one. So, marami kayo sa Facebook. Nagkaroon ng malubhang sakit ang lalaki matapos maumaling sa Mobile Legends. So, example of misleading content. So, misleading nga siya. For example, Filipino Mobile Legends nagka-cancer dahil sa Filipino celebrity nagka-cancer dahil sa Mobile Legends. So, di man siya konektadong maray. Okay po, that is misleading. False context, unoriginal information, even pictures that are used in context that is not related to it. So, false context nga, hindi man siya related doon sa context. For example, PewDiePie take a break from YouTube. So, if you know PewDiePie, so saro siyang pinakasikat na YouTuber, di man talaga si pag-break niya, di man related talaga sa very tired siya. Gusto niya lang talaga magpahingalo. So, iba man si caption, duman sa totoo talaga ang image. Okay po? That is example of false context. Manipulated content is an original information image that are altered to trick people. So for example, ito yun For example, we have here. Genuine photos of Barack Obama showing support of President Rodrigo Duterte. False siya. Maman talaga ang image. Tig-photoshop lang to para mapahiling na garo si Obama nag-support man talaga kay Duterte maski the image. So that is manipulated content. Ikaw man kayo itong mga t-shirt na nagsusupport man duman sa tao, maski tig-photoshop man lang talaga si picture. So that is that. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, you can always PM me at my Facebook Messenger. That will be that. Thank you. Bye.